Alright guys, we're back here again with another video, this time for Battlefield 2042. I kind of want to just go over what I think the best gun in the game is right now, the loadout that I'm using with it, the best settings to get started with. I'm also going to show you the best way to find a game in Portal to do the XP farm. It's a quick way to unlock attachments for your gun. It's not for everybody, and I'm not really sure how long it's going to last for. They might patch this or something. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll show you the easiest way to find a game for that so you don't waste your time. There's a little bit of a trick to it. I am going to leave timestamps in the description if you want to skip around. But the gameplay that you're seeing in the background right now is from the SVK. This gun, it really reminds me of I think it was called the ZH-29 in Battlefield 5, if you're familiar with that. It's a two-tapper. You pretty much just put two shots in everybody and it kills them. So I feel like I had more success with this over the other marksman rifle, which was the DM7, where it takes like 4 or 5 shots. So with this one, this thing just murders in hazard zone, especially because there's not too many people on the map to run up on you and kill you with assault rifles and stuff. So you can just literally pick off everybody. And if you have 2 people in the party that are rolling this gun, you pretty much, I mean, if you guys are focus firing, you're dropping people fast, super fast. One tip that I'll give though with this gun, and pretty much any gun in this game, is remember to be using that plus system. I was kind of forgetting to do that a lot in my first couple hours of playing, but once you unlock some attachments and then you start using that plus system more and putting on, you know, switching to 8x scope and a bipod if you're trying to take out a sniper from far away, or even just slapping on a grenade launcher to take someone out of a window or something. But enough talking, let's go ahead and get you guys set up. Alright, so this is my main loadout right here, the SVK. Now if you're not a level 14, I think it is when you unlock this, you're gonna have to go with an alternative until then. You could go DM7 here. Problem is it takes 4 or 5 shots to kill somebody and you're at a disadvantage from close range, so I wouldn't really recommend this. If everything you're doing is from long range or medium range, it's a little better, but I just went LCMG the whole time. I felt like that was good, or you could go M5A3, just standard attachments, throw on whatever you can until you hit level 14. So now once you unlock the SVK, we'll go over the attachments here, what I think are the best ones that have been working for me. I go Maul Hybrid. That's the one I usually have on there at all times, so I could hit them from close range and medium range really good. And then you could throw on the 6 and the 8 times on there just to be able to switch to those if you're trying to take out a sniper or something. It works really good, especially in hazard zone. So for ammunition, you want to stick with the high power, so you could take out people in those 2 shots. Standard issue extended mag, all that really does is it turns it into a DM7, so I would not do that. And then you could just throw the armor piercing once you unlock those to if you want to shoot a vehicle or something. Under barrel, so the LWG grip is the one that I use all the time, and that's because you have more accuracy while static, so while you're stationary, you have more accuracy. There's other grips you could put on to have more accuracy while moving, but I think that this is more helpful. And then I throw the bipod on in case I need to try to take out some of those snipers. Whip out that bipod and throw on a 6 or 8x scope and take them out. And then I just throw on this fragmentation grenade launcher if I'm just trying to take a camper out of a room or something. I go with the champion muzzle brake at all times. This is definitely the best one. Just show you a comparison between this one and the extended barrel. You get a little bit more velocity, but you see accuracy goes down about 15 and your range goes down about 5 and your handling goes down about 5 as well. So the champion muzzle brake, I use that pretty much the whole time. I don't really put either of these on here. I just have them on there. All right, so secondary weapon, I'm pretty much just waiting until I get the M44 unlocked at level 29, so I just got a couple more levels for that. Now for the gadget, this is going to be kind of personal preference. I would definitely put on whatever your team needs the most. So the 4 squad that I'm rolling, I need to use the rockets because I'm also using Falk, which I wouldn't say that's the best specialist or anything, but that's kind of what my team needs. So I'm using Falk for the heals, and then I got rockets, and then we have other teammates that have rockets and ammo. And then for throwables, I put on the smoke grenade. Sometimes I chain this out, but smoke grenade mostly because I'm the healer of the group, so I try to do most of the revives. And it's also good for using at the end of hazard zone games when you're trying to extract. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the settings I'm using. In this first page, I just turned off the hints for controls. I leave the camera shake amount to 100 just for immersion. I don't think it's that bad in this game. Display, I go with 59. I feel like this is the perfect number to not make the player models too small on your screen and give you like that fish lens look. I feel like this is the most natural. Third person view, I'm going with 80 so that I could see around my vehicles better. I'm keeping ADS field of view to off. Brightness, I go to 60, but that's it depends on what your TV brightness is set at and all the settings for that. Motion blur, I always turn that off, and then I just keep all these on. Again, you could change all these settings. This is kind of all personal preference stuff. Now for crosshair, I would turn crosshair projection off. That will keep the crosshair in the center of the screen like it should be. Crosshair color, I go with something bright for that. I go with something bright for headshot color, kill color, and then I always keep the armor hit color to blue. In the minimap, I kept default, subtitles default. Controller, I'm going all default on this except for the air pilot buttons. I go alternate on this so that when I'm flying the chopper, right trigger is throttle up and left trigger is throttle down. Now for soldier aim sensitivity, I'm going with 40 because I felt like 20 was way too low, way too sluggish. Field of view, 59. All this is all default. And then once I get down to the zoom sensitivities, I go 110 on all of them. And I feel like that's pretty good for trying to track people when they're running. Vehicle aim sensitivity, I'm keeping at 20, but I got the vehicle third person field of view at 80, so I could see more around me when I'm in a tank or a chopper. And then the rest is default. For the controller tuning, I'm going 0 on center dead zone for my left stick, and then just 2 on the right stick. But I got a fairly new controller, so it's pretty responsive. I don't need dead zone. Accessibility, I pretty much had the menu narration off. Most of this is all default. 0 motion blur, all defaults for subtitles and controls. And controller mapping, I haven't really messed with this because I like where the controls are at for me right now. And one last tip I have, if you guys are having trouble getting attachments for your guns, you could go into Portal and go into some of the lobbies there. They have XP farms and they actually count towards your gun's attachments to unlocking them. So if that's something you're into, I'm gonna show you real quick on how to find the best lobbies for doing that. So now when you go into Portal, you wanna go under Browse Servers, then trigger over to Rush because the maps are smaller, you could find the bots faster. And then look for a title that says like 1 XP bot farm or bot farms. And then you can see here I have 1 HP bots. And you wanna look at the description on the right there underneath the title. And right there it says 2042 because I wanna level up my 2042 guns. So if it says 1942 or something like that, then you're not gonna have 2042 guns most likely. So it's always good to look there. I mean, you could go into other games that just say bot farm or whatever that don't have any of those stats there in the description telling you what's in the game. But it could be a waste of time. I went into a couple games like that and it had 1942 guns or Battlefield 3 guns, and I just wasn't interested in leveling those up. So that's pretty much the best way of finding a game for that. And once you get in the game, I would first check the teams, make sure you have, a handful of human players on the team, even 20 is fine, but on the other team you should have a ton of AI. And then pretty much just throw on whatever weapon you want to unlock attachments for and go to town. The bots have 1 HP, so they die instantly and you get all the XP for them to go towards that weapon. It also works for vehicles here, like I hopped in this LATV4 just to check it out. Sometimes they have tanks too on here. And when I was done, I unlocked some upgrades for it. And don't worry about quitting out of the game. You'll still keep your progress, so if this does get kind of boring after a while, so I did this for a few minutes and then I hopped out, and once I backed out and got to the next screen, it showed all the upgrades and attachments that I unlocked, so I didn't lose anything or nothing like that. So I think that's going to do it for this video, but we're kind of just getting started here with the Battlefield 2042 content. I'm going to be coming out with Hazard Zone comp teams, what I think the best specialist loadouts are. Same as for All Out Warfare, what the best guns are, best loadouts. And then also maybe some Portal game modes that I either make or I come across that I think are fun. So if you guys found this video at all helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.